Good morning, kindergarten. It's so lovely to be reading to you again today. Today I'm going to read a book called Elliot Jones' Midnight Superhero. Last week I read a book that my mum had read to me when I was your age and that I read to my children. This week isn't a story that my mum read to me, but it is a story that I read to my children and they loved it. I hope that you'll enjoy it today. But before we go to that, I'm going to show you a picture. This picture it's 3 pictures, and I want you to look at the picture of the girl playing the guitar and the boy playing the drums. You know, right now you're 5, maybe you're 6 already, and it's hard to imagine that one day you won't be in kindergarten anymore. In fact, one day you won't be at school anymore, that you'll be a grown-up person and you'll be doing different things. It's especially hard to imagine that right now when you're coming to school each day and things are just a little bit weird, or when you're coming online each day, it's just a little bit different. It's hard to imagine that one day you'll be bigger and you'll be doing things like this girl playing the guitar. Her name is Alicia. Or the boy playing the drums, his name is Tom. Now, I know both of those beautiful young people. That photo was taken a long while ago now, and I taught them for several years, both of them. In fact, I've known them since they were small. But now they're big people, and they both have families of their own. Alicia has 3 little girls, and Tom has a little girl, and he's just about to have another baby as well, or his wife is. One day that will be you. You'll be having families of your own. You'll be working. You'll be looking after people, the people around you. It's so hard to imagine that now when you're at school or at home online. But I want you to remember that what you do today is really important. It's going to make a difference in your life for the future, and in the lives of others around you in the future. And so I just want to give you some encouragement that what you do today in kindergarten matters and it's important. And so I'm going to read to you a story. I hope that you're staying encouraged just as much as you're staying safe. Let's read our story for this week. Elliot Jones, Midnight Superhero. This is a top secret story. Elliot Jones' Midnight Superhero. By day, Elliot is quiet. He reads his books, he feeds his goldfish, he watches Mr. Smith wash his car. Elliot is such a quiet little thing, say all the grown-ups. But when the clock strikes midnight, Elliot is a superhero. He hangs out of helicopters, he skis down glaciers, he returns teddies to babies. Sometimes the mayor needs Elliot's help. The lions have escaped from the zoo, he cries. They're rampaging through the streets. Luckily, Elliot is an expert lion tamer. He leaps from his bedroom window, races through screaming crowds, and comes face to face with the lions. He stares into the eyes of roaring beasts. One by one, Elliot stops them in their tracks. He leads the lions back to the zoo as the crowds cheer. Woo! Sometimes the Coast Guard call on his services. Help, they shout. A ship is about to crash onto the rocks. Luckily, Elliot is a champion swimmer. He dives into the towering waves, grabs the anchor and tows the ship to safety as the sailors shout, Hooray! Sometimes the Queen requires his assistance. A criminal mastermind has stolen the royal jewels, announces the royal butler. Luckily, Elliot is an excellent sleuth. He sneaks into the criminal mastermind's secret hideout. He follows the clues, cracks the code, opens the safe, and returns the jewels to the grateful Queen. Tonight, Elliot receives an urgent message from the world's most important scientists. A gigantic meteor is heading this way. It's going to smash into the Earth. This is Elliot's most important mission ever. Luckily, Elliot has built a meteor-busting rocket launcher for just such occasions. Unluckily, it's hidden in a deep cave in the mountains of Tibet. The only way to get there before the meteor strikes is by a supersonic jet. Luckily, Elliot is a skilled jet pilot. Elliot sets off over the Alps, over the Caspian Sea, across to the Himalayas. Clouds are forming in the mountains, and Elliot can barely see. Suddenly, a snow-capped peak flashes past his window. Another looms up straight ahead. Elliot dips his left wing and swerves just in time. To reach the cave, he must now land on the shortest, most dangerous runway in the world. He grips the controls. The wheels bump the ground. Screech! Elliot skids to a halt. The sky is blazing with the light of the meteor. Closer and closer it comes. Elliot can see the entrance to the cave far above him. Luckily, Elliot is a highly experienced mountaineer. He scrambles up the cliff face and into the cave. Elliot swings the barrel of the meteor-busting rocket launcher toward the sky. He aims, he holds his breath, he waits until just the right moment. He fires! Kapow! Elliot saves the world from destruction. Hooray! The Queen gives Elliot an award for his courage and ingenuity. The earth trembles with deafening applause. But being a midnight superhero is very tiring. It doesn't leave Elliot with much energy. So by day, Elliot is quiet. And that's the end of our story. I think Elliot must have a pretty good imagination. Maybe you can put your imagination to work today as you figure out ways that you can be creative during this extra special time that you have at home. Creative ways to bless your family, creative ways to bless your teachers. I'm praying for you. Can't wait to see you back here. Goodbye.